You would think advocating for pedophilia and being a Trump supporter would be enough to destroy one's credibility, but Milo Yiannopoulos has yet again managed to scrape together the remaining pieces of his integrity to sit on the dirty trending pages of the internet, with his latest video supposedly leaving an Australian Muslim in a sobbing heap. However, in the IQ-dropping interview, Milo doesn't say anything new. Regurgitating the very few facts he knows about Islam, he again draws false conclusions about the religion based on how alleged Muslim countries practice their faith. With claims of Islam being sexist and a threat to his very existence as a gay man, Milo has equated countries like Saudi Arabia with Sharia law, proving that he can't differentiate between culture and religion and that he has no historical understanding of any Abrahamic religions. Saudi Arabia, like all other enemies throughout Moses, Jesus, and Prophet Muhammad's time, are contradictory in nature, using religion only as a facade. Like himself, Wahhabi Islam, the sector in which countries like Saudi Arabia stands, is an oxymoron in itself, as is a gay Catholic or Zionist Jew. So before believing absurd statements about Islam, it might be beneficial to read books that haven't been published by the scum of the earth. Milo also makes a sad reference to Quranic abrogation in an attempt to show his superior knowledge on the topic, which only highlights the extent of his ignorance about the religion and the laughable sources he uses to gather his information. And just in case anyone genuinely believes the fabricated stories being sold, sexism and Islam are antithetical to one another. And all it takes to understand this is to look at the influences of our female Muslim leaders, like Lady Khadija alayhi salam, Fatima, Zainab alayhi salam, Maryam alayhi salam, Asiya, al-Banin, Nusayba, Hamida, Ruqayya, or Sukaina. Hadiths that state that if it wasn't for the wealth of Lady Khadija, there wouldn't be Islam. The fact that our beloved Prophet worked for Lady Khadija. The fact that Khadija was older than the Prophet and the one to propose marriage. The fact that Islam gave women the right to inherit work and earn years before any Western powers. The constant political involvements of all these powerful women, from Fatima alayhi salam's impact in Mubahila to the sermon of Zainab alayhi salam that saved our religion after Karbala, negates any notion of sexism. By merely scratching the surface of Islamic history and understanding the holy verses of the Quran, the idea of sexism is immediately destroyed. And before you say, well, all terrorists are still Muslims and Islam teaches violence, here's a video of Hillary Clinton, July 2010, admitting to creating and funding Al-Qaeda. Remember? The ones responsible for 9/11? The ones that after a ruling dispute branched off into ISIS? Israel's secret intelligence service? Let's not forget the fact that the US and the UK, yes, that means your people, have the most disgraceful track records in history and continue to slaughter and torture innocent men, women and children in places like Syria, Iraq, Afghanistan and Yemen. But not to give you all the credit, countries like Saudi Arabia also help in these bloody affairs. And despite your intense hatred towards these countries, it is your much loved and trusted Donald Trump that dances with them in their satanic rituals, shakes their blood-stained hands and makes weaponry deals worth billions of dollars. And anyone that tries to defend the strong ties that the UK and US maintain with Saudi Arabia has reached levels of stupidity that can't be helped. Now, the imagined rivalry between the left and right parties of America is even more reason to feel saddened for figures like Milo, as if the puppets of your country have any control over legislations. And like you aren't in total submission to the Rockefeller and Rothschild families whose evil means of management scare Satan himself. Because in any situation, if Trump or Hillary had been elected, brainwashed soldiers would still gleefully board planes and ships to somehow protect your freedom as they travel miles away. Where once they arrive, invading another land to point their guns and missiles at people stunned by their ignorance, they become the war heroes. While those that resist in their own country, literally fighting to defend their families behind them, they are the terrorists we must fear. Now, Milo and Muslims do agree that no one is born gay, transgenders need mental health, and modern feminism is a pinnacle of Western failure. But another similarity is that our Islamic leaders, including the Ayatollah of Iran and Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah, have both thanked Trump for showing the true colours of America, reminding the world that despite the war these terrorists waged on peace, the truth will always prevail. Now, if you want the perfect image of a Muslim, read about the life of Imam Ali alayhi salam or Fatima Zahra alayhi salam. If you want to understand the power of jihad, learn about Imam Khomeini. Look at the honour of Ayatollah Khamenei, the Honourable Sayyid Hassan Nasrallah. Listen to the lectures of Hassanain Rajab Ali or Agha Banahian. There are people following the true path of Islam that have done more good for the world than you will ever intend to. And Muslims will continue to strive on the right path of Islam until we become worthy of Imam Mahdi alayhi salam's revelation. Now, if this video has still been a little too complicated, let me put it more simply so Milo's supporters can fully understand. Milo's distorted perception of Islam is cancer.